Okay, let's get on to the subject of motorhomes as one comes past. Motorhome drivers, good drivers or bad drivers? I think it's varying myself. We got one here, FN54EOG. Obviously there's a big gap there on the left, but they don't want to use it. And following the caravan, whether they're together or not, I don't know. But I've had a few motorhome owners contact me saying car drivers are a nuisance to motorhome drivers or the lane hoggers, which you can understand. The motorhome doesn't go fast, but again, you know, it does 60, 70 comfortably. But if you get those lane hoggers in the way, and you know, especially if you're in a big motorhome, I can understand them being a nuisance. But then, at the same time, motorhome drivers can be bad as well. Not all of them. So today we're going to look for motorhomes. And our first one is FN54EOG. Now, this is not a stay in the lane motorway or lanes. It's a 50 mile an hour restriction, average speed camera. That motorhome there hasn't overtaken anything for ages now. And now we're going to go into this up to 70. Let's see what it does. See if we get an indication or it's going to move. So we're up to 65. Now we're in an undertaking position here now. The caravan's pulled over, but the motorhomes keep on going down that middle lane there. Registration FN54EOG. This is poor motorhome driving. So we'll see how it goes. Eventually catches up with the caravan, who's driving sensibly. Well done, D4JRO. But then FN54EOG doesn't seem to like the left-hand lane. Fair enough there. Car coming out. It's a funny shaped motorhome, isn't it? It's an auto sleeper. Ladder, got a nice ladder to go up on the roof to do a bit of sunbathing if you ever get the weather. It's got satellite TV on the top, but unfortunately the owner doesn't know how to drive it correctly. So the whole middle lane now at 58 mile an hour because cars behind me, caravan up the inside because of this motorhome. Gap, look. See the gap? They're all having to cut in front of the motorhome. Let's go and have a look. Keep tailing. We're on patrol, watching the motorhomes. Now we're going down to the southwest, so we should pick up a few. Well, the holiday season's a bit over in it now. Won't be as many. The motorhome still hasn't moved. Big gap there, look, in front of the lorry. See, this is poor motorhome driving. The Freelander stuck behind the motorhome could overtake, I suppose. Another sort of more of a motor van. It's pulled out in front of the motorhome. This subject is definitely a poor motorhome driver. Now, motorhome's breaking up. Clogging up the middle lane still. it can't pull in now because it's got cars all alongside it on the left because the motorhome driver's not driving correctly. Be interesting to see. So it's 66 miles an hour in the middle lane with the motorhome driver, who's very, very poor driver. FN54EOG. If you know this motorhome owner, give him a book of the highway code, show him this video, and maybe he'll learn to drive, or she may learn to drive. Normally it's the chap driving, isn't it, and the woman in the front with the captain's hat on. That's what I've noticed with motorhome drivers. So still blocking up the middle lane, that. Okay, we got, fair enough, here we got a left turn off, but that's no difference to this driver who's in a trance down the middle lane. Looks like they're heading to the southwest. So by default now, the motorhome driver has actually ended up in the left-hand lane, simply because we're going down to 2 lanes. It's now approaching a slower car, so we'll watch its manoeuvre. Speed down 59, 60. Just coming on to merge onto the motorway again. On patrol behind FN54EOG, middle lane hogger in a motorhome. Monitoring the performance of FN54EOG on the subject of motorhomes on the motorway. Now, I'm not saying every motorhome driver is bad. Same with cars, you get good drivers, bad drivers. But you've got to take a bit more responsibility, I think, with the motorhome. Obviously, you're going at a slower speed. Right, inside lane. We're actually correct now. By default. Up to 70 mile an hour now. BN15 CFJ. It's not a great driver, is it? It's sitting alongside the motorhome. If he needed to pull out, he can't because you're hogging the lane. So that's an obstruction for the motorhome driver, isn't it? But he's just as bad, or she's just as bad. Let's go and have a look and see who it is. See if we got a. It's a Gatcombe. And it's a man driving. Have we got a woman passenger? I expect so. Has she got a captain's hat on? No, actually he's driving on his own. Right, now we're testing now. So we've overtaken the motorhome, we've got traffic in front at a slower rate of knots. So will the motorhome make a safe manoeuvre or not? Will it go out the middle, not pull back in? Let's see. Down to 57. The motorhome is now indicated out. Let's see how the performance goes. We've seen not black flag performance, I wouldn't say, but pretty poor. So we're on FN54. Now all these motorhome drivers know each other. A lot of them know each other. They all have YouTube shows. Go to meets. So if you do meet up with FN54EOG, don't forget to show him his driving. It looks to me, observing the driver, that he's one of these trance drivers who just gets in a trance when he's in his lane. It's okay in a minute, he's doing his overtaking manoeuvres. A big test to come now. This gap here, look, I think. properly. Not gonna. We shall see what his gap's like. So he stayed out to overtake a lorry. He's got the old lorryitis, where he's going to take 10 minutes to overtake it. Well, not 10 minutes, is he? You know what I mean? So he still hasn't pulled in. Is he blocking the white car? The white car was quite a bad one. Yeah, blocked. Got the Audi, the Merc on the outside. So he's gone into his trance again. It's not hard to turn left, is it? You know. With the left-hand lane, is there? We're using it correctly. Why can't other people? Especially Mr. Motorhome up here, who's our subject. So we're just coming to Hogwood services. Look at all the space up there now. Look. Motorhome don't want to use it, nor does any other car by the looks of things. But we're at 73 in the inside lane. Nobody wants to use the lane at all, apart from me and the lorry up front. Oh, here's one car. But our subject is the motorhome on this show. That's careless driving, isn't it? How long is it going to take him to go past this lorry? This one's a bad one on the right hand side. They're all sitting up, tucking up behind the motorhome. They're not overtaking him, but they're all trawling down the middle lane as well. So this is what the motorhome should be doing. Coming out. Oh, he's gone in. Yeah, he's pulled in. At last. But there was no need for him to sit out that middle lane all that time. Now what he's done is clogged the middle lane and backed up the traffic. This is why motorways don't flow freely. So we just come back up behind FN54 EOG. He's now in the correct lane. Will he go drifting again? We shall see. But anyway, if you do see this show and you go to a motorhome meeting or a campsite, wherever they go, wild camping, if you bump into him in the forest, remind him about his bad motorway driving. FN54 EOG. Oh, there's it. What's going on up there? Now he's correctly driving. Thank God for that. But I'm sure there'll be another moment in a minute. There we go. Anyway, FN54 EOG for you. Middle lane hogger, motorhome. We'll find another motorhome shortly. There goes the indication. Has he gone early? No, that's good. Good driving there, to be fair. Got the lane hogger up the inside. See if he's improved. Has he opened his brain cells again? Let's see. Going past the lorry. cautionary 60 mile an hour zone now. And Mr. Motorhome has gone back to his middle lane antics. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. One minute he gets it right, then he forgets it, goes back into his trance, goes to sleep, or whatever he's doing. And he's back. Blocking the middle lane now. In fact, this could be a black flag. Yeah, Day has given him a black flag. Just concentrate. So by default he's back into the left hand lane. Let's see if he goes back out again in a bit. Out he goes again. I don't see the point of that manoeuvre at all, because he's not going to get any further. Should have stayed where he was. We have. Maybe he just wants to drive up the arse of that. Is that a higher Toyota? Now the inside lane's actually going to go quicker than him, so he's pulled out. And the inside lane, look, is it same speed, maybe a little bit quicker. We're in a 50 restrictor, average speed camera, and once again we have Mr. Motorhome out in the middle lane there. He pulled out for no reason whatsoever. No reason. If you're watching the show FN54 EOG and you do get to see this, could you contact the show and tell us why you pulled out into the middle lane when there was no need? What was the point? What was going through your mind? Was it just because you want to block the motorway with your motorhome? No advantage at all there, was there? And any other motorhome owners, do you drive like this? Let us know in the comments. Or do you criticise this fellow motorhome driver? He's giving motorhomes a bad reputation, isn't he? Because I like motorhomes. Don't get me wrong, I want one. But I'll drive mine correctly. What speed do motorhome drivers normally drive at? 60, 65? I've seen some doing 90 down the fast lane. But we'll see if we can pick some of them up in a minute. Well, we ain't got many on the road today, actually. The weather's bad and it's not a weekend to get away. So we're sat on 49 miles an hour in the inside lane, in a 50, average speed 50. Mr. Motorhome is out there in the middle. Maybe he's gone for a shower. Maybe he's on autopilot. It's quite unusual actually to see somebody on their own in the motorhome. Normally got a family in there, or the missus or whatever. Maybe he's just gone out for a bad drive. Who knows? But he's certainly doing that. So he's still out in the middle. So we're still out in the middle lane with the motorhome driver, FN54 EOG. We're coming out now of the average speed of 50. Plenty of space in the left-hand lane. Let's see what happens. Does he pull in? No, don't be silly. It's in a lorry. Stay out in that middle. Lorry-itis. See the lorry. He will eventually overtake it. I'll sit alongside it for 10 minutes. One of the two. There's the manoeuvre that you should have made. That you could have done. Will he go in now? Let's see. The white van's gone in. Oh, the old motorhome sits out there. 60. And he sits on out there in the middle without a care in the world. Red car pulls out in front of him. As he blocks up that middle lane. That's his lane. Nobody else is having his lane. He's eventually going to go past his white van. So now he's decided to do a bit of speeding. We're in a 60 and he's doing about 70. He's decided to speed up. Maybe he's going to pull in. Maybe that acceleration was to help him pull in. Let's see. No. How not to drive a motorhome, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever buy a motorhome, don't drive like this. Clown. Locking up the middle lane. Everybody having to go wide. You will eventually pass this Audi. He's got a legitimate reason to be there, but he's been there for hours, hasn't he? At the minute, he's actually overtaking. Now, what's he going to do? Maybe he knows he's on the Dave's Banter show. He likes the limelight, I don't know. Has he got the guts to get past this Nissan? Be the manoeuvre. Will he do it? No. Who gave this chap a motorhome, eh? Look at it. There we are, blatant middle lane hogging. FN54 EOG. Motorhome lane blocker. Now why hasn't he pulled in here? No reason whatsoever, is there? Look at him. That is a black flag. If you've never watched the show before, I award black flag badges to very bad drivers, and he's having a black flag for that blatant lane hogging. If that was a lorry, everybody would be screaming, what's that lorry doing out there? Let's see what white van man does as he approaches. Will he give him a flash? He's eventually going to catch that blue car and go past. Or is he? Out there, look. Oh, here's a perfect look at that. Look at that. This white van's gonna want to come out here. Look at all that space. saying that, but he's following the motorhome, isn't he? So sets one off. He's breeding. Middle lane hogging's breeding because of the motorhome. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Should have a car license, let alone being allowed to be out in a motorhome. There he is, look. He's got something to overtake now. He probably thinks that can justify what he's driving, but it can't. You got a black flag, buddy. I'm sure you won't wear it with pride. So here he comes. We let him go past a minute. Out in his middle lane, look. Awful driving. Disgrace to motorhome drivers, isn't he? Do you agree? I hope you all don't drive like this. Will he come in this time? Anyone want to put money he stays out on the middle lane? Even's favourite. 10 to 1 he pulls into the left. White van man's just as bad. Now there's a correct driver, look. On the inside lane there, look. Towing his trailer, his camping trailer. He's got half a caravan. You can see what's happening here now, look. Mr. Motorhome's out there, followed by white van man now, followed by a Peugeot, join the queue. I'm sitting here, what we doing, 72 miles an hour. Space, nice big clear space up front. Mr. Motorhome though, wants to sit in the middle. How not to drive a motorhome, ladies and gentlemen. This is why people cuss caravans and motorhomes on the motorway. And white van man. Now, as we're correctly driving, we're now going to get blocked in by Mr. Motorhome and his white van man friend, and Mr. Peugeot. All because Motorhome man is in the middle lane. As we go around Mr. Marks and Spencer's. Out there. $70 on the inside. Motorhome, 70 in the middle lane. Will he ever move? Scorpions sang a song once called I'm in a Trance, and he's certainly in a trance right now as he heads down to the southwest. By the looks like he could be going to Wales. Wherever he's going, he ain't going there correctly. to interview him, ask him why. Oh, he's gone in. He's got to go to the services, I'm sure he is. Let's see. Be a great interview if we can get it. He's not indicating to go in yet. Yes, he is. Let's go and ask him. FN54 EOG. Will he tell us to F off? Oh, he's going into the HGV section. Into the caravans. There's a lot of motorhomes in here. He doesn't fancy it now. You think, I've got a feeling he knows he's being followed. Wait for him to get out. He's not got out yet. Oh, he's got a big Alsatian. Maybe this isn't a wise move. There's a big Alsatian in the cab. Oh dear, oh dear. You could be a bit protective, that dog. He's not getting out. Oh, he's gone to sit in the back. Yeah, he's sitting in the back of his motorhome. He's obviously pulled in for a cup of tea. Oh, he's not getting out. There's the dog, there's the Alsatian. So he's not actually getting out of his motorhome, so we can't ask him. I don't want to get done for harassment. But if he walked out, but he's not by the looks of things. So the dog's looking at me out the window. Got to be careful here. You're not harassing somebody, because that's obviously illegal. No, he's just sitting in the front there. He's pulled in for a break. Was it a change of drive? No, there's only one driver, I think. The dog's having a wander around the back. Maybe he knows we're here. There's actually somebody sat in the back now, and someone sat in the front. So he's been driving, but the dog's gone to the front. Nah, he's not getting out. That's a shame. Would have liked to have asked him, if he'd got out, why he likes to sit in the middle lane. In fact, there he is, sat looking out the window now. There is your left-hand driver, look. In the window. He's out the driver's seat. He's gone to sit in the back. Yeah, that was him. That was the driver. Let's zoom in a bit, see if you see him. There we go. Mr. Middle Lane. There he is. He's checking something on his phone or something. So that is your man who drives in the middle lane all down the M5. That's what he looks like. FN54EO, whatever it was. Can't see his number plate now, can't remember. So he's tapping into his phone, he's checking his home, he's having a break. Dog's not getting out for a week. Let's hope he's reading the highway code of how to drive a motorhome on a motorway.